The old man pulled out his oxygen tube because he didn't want to burden his children. The woman had no idea. She was still calling her husband because when paying the bill, the card showed insufficient balance even though she had just deposited 200,000. When the call connected, she found out her husband had used the money to buy a designer bag for another woman. The woman trembled with rage. That money was her mother's only hope, but now it was too late. Her mother's heart had stopped. Rescue failed and she passed away. Things got worse. The funeral home called. Even the cheapest burial and urn cost $30,000. If she couldn't pay that day, the ashes would be disposed of together. In desperation, she rushed to her husband's company to demand the money, but accidentally overheard a conversation between her husband and the other woman. Turns out the man had been faking poverty all along. He wasn't deep in debt. He was the long-lost son of a billionaire. All the talk about millions in debt was a lie. He claimed he did it to test if the woman truly loved him. He said once she passed, he would give her the grandest wedding. But the woman thought of her mother, working night shifts to help pay off debts, dying with no peace. Anger surged in her heart. She questioned the man face to face, why he had lied to her like this. The scheming woman interrupted, saying it was all her idea, because the woman's status was too low for him. The man agreed, claiming he only hid his identity for a few days. Then he pulled out a necklace, saying it was meant as a gift for his mother-in-law. The woman didn't tell him her mother had died. She simply asked coldly for $30,000. The man was about to hand her the money, but the other woman stopped him, accusing the woman of only asking for money. After learning his identity, the woman was frantic. She pushed the scheming woman aside, which completely enraged the man. He withdrew the money and coldly asked, after all her years of work, did she really have no savings? He didn't know. She had already used her salary to help pay off his fake debts. With no other choice, she finally said the money was for her mother's burial, but the man thought she was cursing his mother-in-law. He even played a video from that morning to mock her intentions. The woman didn't argue. She just told him to give her the money. The scheming woman said it was already spent on the bag. In fury, the woman pushed her over. The man slapped the woman across the face. The poor woman couldn't even afford a proper urn. She had to use an old ceramic jar. The funeral staff looked at her with disdain. Just when she was most desperate, her long-lost father appeared. He turned out to be the chairman of a large company, now filled with guilt. He wanted to make it up to his daughter. She agreed to inherit the family business, but set one condition. He couldn't interfere until she got justice for her mother. Back home, she placed the jar in her room, still haunted by her mother's death. At that moment, the man returned with the scheming woman. He asked the woman to be generous and let her sleep in the room for one night. She firmly refused, saying no outsiders were allowed today. The man thought she was being unreasonable. He insisted the other woman go rest. Unexpectedly, she found the jar of ashes and screamed in fear. The man rushed in and asked what it was. The woman calmly said it was her mother's ashes. The man didn't believe her. He thought she was scaring him for money. The woman asked if the other woman screamed so loudly, why didn't her mother come out? Still the man didn't believe it. He opened the room and found it completely empty. Panicked, he tried calling her mother's number, only for the phone in the woman's pocket to ring. Even then, he claimed the mother was being hidden. He said no one would use a pickle jar